There is one thing missing though. Well, there's a couple things missing. But today we're changing that because we're installing windows. So we're standing in our bathroom right now, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up putting a hole right here, a big one, a giant one.
And now that he explained it to you guys, now I understand it a little better too.
From being on the inside, the gaps are pretty different. So we'll grab a tape measure and we will realign this out here.
Ooh, you sparkle like a vampire.
There are times when you're gonna feel like a crazy man.
Why do you feel like a crazy person?
I'm building a frame for a frame for a frame.
First thing we do when we get here is we just kind of hop up in our future home and just kind of admire all the stuff we did the day before. Especially when it's Monday and it's been a whole weekend and we haven't seen her. So Brian's just walking the grounds and appreciating his fine craftsmanship.
Hour. There is one thing missing though. Well, there's a couple things missing. You know when you wake up in the morning in your home and you open those blinds and get to look outside? We don't get to do that. But today we're changing that because we're installing windows.
You may have heard us complain about the heat in the past, and hopefully having some nice air ventilation will cut down on that complaining for you guys.
We've never installed RV windows before, so this will be a first for us. One of the cool things that we're doing that we will show later on is how we're going to kind of reuse some parts from the box truck and put back into the whole window system. So come along with us.
To upcycle and repurpose what would have been junk.
So we're standing in our bathroom right now, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna end up putting a hole right here, a big one, a giant one. We have a window that is 30 by 20, so we're gonna center it in this little area based off of where our shower is to make sure that we get the full view. Even if it looks off center from outside, we don't care because it looks beautiful inside. What we need to do is we need to take our trim ring for our window, which is the inside beauty piece, and we will get that placed and transfer that exact cutout to where we can then take an angle grinder and cut it all out.
Now I kind of understand a little bit better. Brian was explaining to me, I didn't quite grasp it, and now that he explained it to you guys, now I understand it a little better too. I'm just gonna do what he tells me. So let's make a hole.
Alright, let's get to work, guys. Replacement window installation.
What did you learn? Share with the class.
So they came with instructions, and when you're removing windows, they actually had to put in here to make sure that somebody's on the outside so the old window doesn't fall and break. Gives you your basic instructions for the windows on how to get it installed. We're going to have to play with it a little bit because of the way that we're going to set this up. We're going to use our Z channel that we pulled out from the damaged panels on the driver's side. We're going to cut those up and use those as our header and our sill and our sides. I wasn't 100% sure how thick the window is going to be, so we're going to have to adjust our game plan a little bit, but it should still work out really well, I hope. This is our window and our trim ring, which is just basically the beauty ring for the inside. This being the bottom, this being the top, something that we have to definitely be aware of when we put it in there. They're saying that it does come with a membrane already attached to the frame that is the waterproof membrane. Even still, we'll end up sealing around it probably with some Sika.
Okay, so in theory, we know exactly how to install these windows. In a normal, sensible RV, they just slide right in. But let's be honest, we don't really do normal. We're building this wild RV life meets RV crossover mutant. which means every single measurement is a high-stakes math problem. We're literally cutting giant holes into our box truck panels, you know, similar to the panels we just spent weeks replacing a few episodes ago. No pressure, right? If we mess this up by even a tiny fraction of an inch, the whole project grinds to a halt. We're back to square one, replacing 2 entire panels.
What I'm trying to do right now is just get the easiest way to transfer this shape to our front panel for our cutout.
I have to say your first window was pretty close that you drew.
Since we're sitting an inch away from the actual panel, there's no way for me to get the actual true shape transferred over to here. So what I'm doing is more or less taking the best idea of where the inside edges of this trim and then drilling the holes that will match the farthest width and the farthest height on the top and bottom, left and right, through the panel. Then I can take this trim piece, go outside, match it up, and then trace exactly the cutout that we'll need. From being on the inside, the gaps are pretty different. So
yeah.
We'll grab a tape measure and we will realign this out here based off of that, which is what we've been basing it off of.
Ooh, you sparkle like a vampire.
I've been to Forks, Washington, so.
How did that go?
Good. I can't get the corners. We need a jigsaw and some tape so we don't scratch it up. So we can't cut all the way through from the outside. So inside, I'm gonna cut the Z channel off. I'll call you in when I'm on my last one to hold it.
It feels so nice. Airflow, breathing, cool, fresh air, and a lot of light. So you guys will be able to see what's going on a little better too. Ooh.
I'm gonna hand you the window here, and then you can just pass it out to me.
Okay.
I will.
I understand. Look, we have lighting from this side now. Woo!
See what we got.
She fits. What you're seeing here is Brian attacking chunks of steel with a death wheel. He's cutting up framing for the windows. Kind of like how you'd frame a house with wood, but, you know, metal. It's what keeps the whole box truck from collapsing like a house of cards when we're barreling down a highway or, more realistically, hitting monstrous potholes on some sketchy dirt road in the middle of nowhere. Tell your fans, why did you just cut those?
Hello, fans. Okay, so this is our old Z channel that we pulled out from the damage area. Cutting these to build a frame around the window. Okay. Those are what I cut.
Did you just panic a little bit?
Fudge.
But now that the hole is actually cut, this is where the real brain scrambling begins. It's one thing to draw lines and slice through metal with power tools, but the next part requires actual problem solving. We're officially going off script and entering the engineering phase of the build. We're basically staring at random scraps of metal, hoping we can transform them into functioning parts. Oh, and did I mention whatever we invent also has to survive hurricane force winds hitting straight on at 70 miles an hour? No pressure. Should you make it longer? Back to the grind. Literally.
We finally got our framing done for our window. We've got our header and our sill and our sides to keep transferring load from these Z-struts down into the bottom still. So everything is nice, sturdy, support the weight in the middle still. Now we got to figure out how to get the window installed. All right, we're back here this morning working on our window. Yesterday was a bit frustrating, so we just kind of called it quits and went home. I just couldn't figure out what the next step was going to be, and my brain was just a blank. So after a little time at home, a little relaxation, I think we have come up with a good plan on how to get the window finished up, mounted, and everything that we're going to do for it. So we're in a good spot this morning to keep moving forward. First, we're going to figure out our insulation depth. Then we're going to figure out the framing of this window for us to attach the actual window. It's a bit complex, so I'm just gonna have to show you.
I don't completely understand what's going on. So I will be taping up those mosaic insulation tiles that I put in all of our storage hatches on the floor. I'll be doing an easy peasy job of just taping stuff, and Brian's gonna be basically playing with Legos.
Okay, so I think I figured out a way to actually translate this to you guys. So our walls have 1 inch of insulation with 2 inches on top. Then we have our 1x that comes across, and on top of that 1x we have a furring strip. We're also going to put on the inside of our boxed in frame, which we could also create our shape for the window, and then utilize our trim ring on top of that and attach to the window. And I think that will work.
Stay tuned. We don't know.
Let's find out. I like that. Let's find out. Stay tuned. It's coming.
It's a cliffhanger for us too. We don't know. This could be an easy day, or we could be just making a giant mess for ourselves to clean up.
Why is this here? Oh, that's the bathroom. I have the shower.
Don't freak me out, man. We need to start labeling our tapes.
We had a couple of lines. We had a couple of lines on here, and I just turned around, not remembering what the hell they were. And I'm standing in the shower right now. So
I guess a really big tip for all of you aspiring builders out there, no matter what you're doing, even if you have a house, label everything. If you put a piece of tape and you're like, oh, I'll remember what this is for, you're probably not going to. So just label everything. Do as we say, not as we do, because there's been quite a few instances where we did not label and we completely forgot which was what and what things meant.
Since our walls are aluminum, and the front of this truck is going to get hit with wind at all times, different speeds, the aluminum is going to move quite a bit. So one of the things that we're doing that's going to help prevent leaks and stuff like that is something that I've done in the glazing industry, and that is use a two-sided tape around the edging instead of this squishy insulation foam, whatever they're using, which over time is just going to dry and shrink. This insulation foam isn't going to grab the actual aluminum panels. So first things first here this morning is we're removing this. Somebody's got some good Christmas wrapping skills. All right, so you guys remember our VHP tape that we used on the solar panels, mounting those up on the roof. Same stuff. We're gonna pull it around this trim all the way. There are rivets here, and I'm not using this to make it waterproof. I'm using this to get it to stick to the panels. Then I'm going to run a bead of SikaFlex around the whole window to then make it waterproof. So here's one of the problems when you've got two people working and two people are mic'd up on their microphones. There's one of them who's over there shredding paper is making a lot of noise. You know, well, I'm just trying to sit here and talk to you guys. Have a one-on-one. So I know a lot of people are going to say, why not use butyl tape on this? Again, it's just to be able to seal the window against the metal better. I'm afraid even with the wobble, fluctuation of the panel is going to end up being a problem for leaks. There's an argument both ways, but I like this way.
You know, you're not a real artist if you're just tracing.
There are times when you're gonna feel like a crazy man building your box truck.
Why do you feel like a crazy person?
I'm building a frame for a frame for a frame. You know? It feels like there's just so many moving parts or so many parts, like this has to be wrong. But if you think of building a house, like I built it like you built a house. That's what's existing. Now I've got to put the insulation, then the drywall, and so it just feels all types of weird.
And everything's smaller too. So in a house it seems more substantial and less crazy when you have beefy building materials. But
Feeling a little kooky. What are you doing? I don't understand. Well, there's a thought process behind all of this.
oh, I did my house completely.
You can't make me laugh because then it makes me weak and I have no strength. All right, I'm gonna come out towards you, so give me a little bit of room. Okay.
Hold the bottom?
Yeah.
100%.
All right, give a push. Yeah. Okie doke. She's stuck. That went really well. We got our first window in. Tape holding super nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come into this little crack and I'm going to caulk it with some Sika. And then eventually I'm going to come outside and caulk around the outside border as well. But so far it looks great. And my little magic kitty over there, she did amazing. Frickin' awesome.
Yay! Good luck. While Brian was putting in the window and doing complicated math stuff, I was busy being a squirrel. I took all of the little pieces that we chopped off from our rigid foam board insulation that we just kept in a pile, like the little hoarders we are. And now the corners are just smashed with a ton of that. And the pile is dwindling. It is very tiny. It was a huge bundle, and now there's probably like 5 pieces. So I'm very happy that we held on to those pieces and that we found a place to cram them all. This will allow us to use less of that spray foam to get into all those cracks. And that stuff's a pretty penny when you just buy can after can. So this will help us out a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first window.
The past couple days of working has finally given us our full, complete wall in the bathroom. The last couple days we installed the bathroom window and the window that will be in our kitchen. We had to finagle the last pieces of insulation to fit the window specifically. Then spray foam all the cracks, and then slap up the lovely plywood that we purposed from the original box truck. We learned a lot. We should have labeled more, but we're very happy with it. If you want to see what we get into next week, feel free to subscribe, like this video. It really does help us out. I have no idea what we're doing next week, so I'm excited to see too.
Don't put that on the air.
That's for Patreon.